Hello and welcome to Dramani Online Mathematics. Today we are going to look at another section of angles. We have already looked at properties of angles and you want to use those properties to solve some example. Please try to subscribe and share to your friends so that they can also enjoy this lesson. Now, this is an example. So you are starting from the easy ones, then you'll be building on it to the complex ones. So we have an example here. And looking at this example, the question is, in the diagram, PQ is parallel to SR. Find the value of X. Find the value of X. Now, some questions, instead of writing it as PQ is parallel to SR, they can also write it as PQ, and you'll bring these two lines, SR. This is a mathematical statement, meaning PQ is a parallel to what SR. So if you don't see it in the English form like this, and you see it as this, it's the same thing. Is that okay? Alright. Now, let's see how we can solve this question. The question that we have here, we have two parallel lines, and we have talked about parallel lines, and we said that the line that passes through the parallel lines or join two parallel lines together or more lines together is called a transverse line. And we said that once there's a transverse line and a parallel lines, then there will be a lot of angle forming. And through those angles, we're able to establish some properties like corresponding, co-interior, alternate, and the rest. So looking at this particular question, we have to use one of the properties here. If you look at this one very well, I know by now you have stated it yourself. This is co-interior angles, because you can see that this and that are inside and they are opposite to each other. So we say that they are co-interior angle. What did we say about co-interior angles? We said that co-interior angles are supplementary. Supplementary, when you say they are supplementaries, it means that they sum up towards 180 degrees. So now let's look at this one. So we are saying that x plus 130 degrees plus 35 is equals to 180 degrees. Is that okay? And what is the reason? The reason is that co-interior angle, this is angle sign, sum up to 180 degrees. Please write the reason. So looking at this, x plus 130 plus 35 will give us 165 degrees equals 180 degrees. Is that okay? So looking at this one, we can take the additive inverse. You hear me saying additive inverse. Some of you are not used to those terms. Simply, you send this one to that side. That's why we call additive inverse. You just want a number that when we subtract from here, you get 0, and you have to apply it on both sides. So that will be x equals 180 degrees minus 165 degrees. So my x will be 15 degrees. Is that okay? This is very simple to solve, right? Now let's look at example number 2. So now let's look at example number 2. Find the value of x in the figure below. Where is our figure? This is what we are talking about, x. So we are looking for the value of what? X in this figure. This figure looks like something that you may think that it will be very difficult to find that value, but it's very simple. Now I have redraw this figure here. Okay, so how do I solve this particular question? If you have a question like this and you want to solve, then you have to add some information to it yourself. So this line and that are parallel, and this line, I can also add another line here that is also parallel to this, and this line become a transverse to those two parallel. So let me add it. So this is the line I'm talking about. And looking at this line, it's also parallel to this and that. I hope you can see. Actually, this one you can just what? Continue with it. So this is parallel to this is also parallel to this is also parallel to that. And since this particular line is joining this and that, we say that this line is what? A transverse line. It's a transverse line. So once you have a transverse line, any of the properties that we have learned so far can be applied. Is that alright? So now look at this. What do we have here? I know you know it already, which is what? 90 degrees. So if this side is 90 degrees, it was a parallel line that met this line and formed that 90 here. Meaning that if there's another line which is parallel also meeting the same line, then this side too will form what? 90 degrees. I hope it's okay. Now, let's look at this side. I've left out information. We have 20 degrees here. You have 20 degrees here, okay? So this side is 20 degrees. So if here is 20 degrees, it tells you that this side is also what? 20 degrees. What property is that? It's alternate what? Angles. They are equal. So we are saying that alternate angles are what? Equal. So the property applied here are what? Alternate. You could see that Z shape there. So if here is 20, here is 20. Now let's look at something. We are interested in this X, but you can see that there's a circle forming here. And we said that angle at the points sum up to what? 360 degrees. Tells you that X plus 20 degrees, this is 90, plus 90 degrees equals to 360 degrees. Is that okay? So looking at this, you have X degrees plus 20 plus 90 is 110 degrees equals 360 degrees. So taking additive inverse, we have X degrees equals 360 degrees minus 110 degrees. 0 minus 0, we have 0. 6 minus 1, we have 5. Then we have 2, 5, 0 degrees. 2, 5, 0 degrees. And I think this is very simple, like very simple. So it tells you that there are some of the figures you have to add some information to it before you'll be able to solve it. Now let's also look at another interesting example. Alright, so now let's look at example number 3. Very simple example. In the diagram below, PQRS is a parallelogram if angle QPS. So the letter in the middle is where the angle is. So angle QPS. This is that 2x, right? So angle RSP. So we are going to concentrate or focus on what? The S. So where's our X? So that will be RSP. Then the last one, angle RST, that will be Y. Find the value of what? Y. So we want to find the value here, Y. So how do you solve something like this? This, in fact, you have not done anything concerning parallelograms, but looking at the question there, we have some parallel lines there. This and that is a parallel, that's QR and PS are parallel, and that of PQ and SR or RS and QP are also parallel. Now, this line SR or RS is acting as what? A transverse line. You can see that because this is a parallel, this is a parallel. The same thing, Q and P is also acting as what? A transverse line. Therefore, we can apply the properties here. Is that okay? Now, you want to find the value of Y. But per what you have learned, there was a property that linked this 2x and that of what? Y together. Can you remember that property? Please, if you know you have not learned the previous video, please go and watch and learn the properties very well before coming to this video. So this 2x and y, 2x is correspond to y, 2x is corresponding to y. So we are saying that 2x is equals to what? Y. And the property is what? Corresponding angle are equal. Is that okay? So you are saying that corresponding angles are equal. So if this is equals to that, then it means that y is equals to 2x, right? So y is equals to what? 2x. Meaning, in place of y, I can replace it by what? 2x. Is that okay? Now, we also stated another property that you could see that this particular 3x and that y are on a straight line. And we said that angle on a straight line sum up to what? 180. So I can say that 3x plus y is equals to 180 degrees. But mind you, y is the same as what? 2x. So you state the reason. Angles on a straight line sum up to 180 degrees. Is that okay? Now, 3x plus, now y is what? 2x. So 2x equals 180 degrees. This 3x plus 2x will give us 5x equals 180 degrees. So dividing both sides by 5 in order to make x the subject, my x will be 36 degrees. My x will be 36 degrees. Is that okay? Very simple, but the question said you should find the value of y. So how do I get y? From this relation, we said that y is equals to 2x, meaning that my y will be equals to 2 times x, which is what? 36. So therefore y is equals to 72 degrees. 72 degrees. I think this is very simple that you can sit at your comfort zone and learn alone. Thank you very much. Our next video, we are going to look at triangles. Then after the triangles, look at their properties, the types, then we solve some example. under them. So stay tuned.